Today I'm going to talk about a few things. I'm going to record several videos today. First, I wasn't planning on, but I will talk about what it's like to have a disability. You know, this channel is called Life on Positivity, and I am very positive. I try to be positive. But sometimes you can't always be positive. You know, we have these feelings that we get. I've been kind of in a weird place lately. Busy. Then I've kind of not been busy at other times that I could have been. And the way things are working out, today I'm wearing this. The thing about muscular dystrophy, Duchenne, which is the kind I have, is that you never know what you're going to get. I started out walking, started using a wheelchair at 10, and things have just slowly gotten harder since then. That's what I'm hoping you'll get out of the series I'm doing, is see how that it doesn't always stay the same. It gets harder, but there's benefits and things you learn. The first thing is sometimes you don't really feel, I don't know how to say it, human, which of course I know I'm human, but you don't feel like you're a complete person. People look at you sometimes weird. You don't know how often I have people when I'm out in town, or for instance, one time I worked at a car dealership. I took pictures of cars and put them on the internet. So that means you have to go outside. My dad would help me take pictures. Well, it was around Christmas time. My nephew had given me this Santa hat. So it was warm, so I decided to wear it. And you know, anybody can do that. It's kind of funny, right? Well, I went to the dealership to work, and this customer just looked at me like, oh, how cute. Little guy in a wheelchair. By the way, we don't like to be called like little guy in a wheelchair or anything like that. So, anyway, just to let you know, I don't like being called little. Because you wouldn't call anybody else that, would you? But it's that look like, oh, look at this nice little mentally handicapped person. Because they look at me. What I love to do when that happens is talk to them. Because you see that like, oh, I feel kind of awkward now and bad, but I don't act like I notice it. But see, it's things like that. For me, I don't want to stick out. All my life, I've had to sit in the front of some place, in the back of some place, or at the end. I would love to be able to just sit in the middle, not stand out, and just be there. But when you've got a disability and you want to go out and do things, that's not an option. I really don't like attention, but I'm stuck with getting it. Or at least if I do get attention, I want it to be for me, not because of this wheelchair. At one point in my life, around the time I was going to college, I started getting this anxiety stuff where I would just start itching uncontrollably around my neck and my chest and my head, because when things would surprise me or upset me, it would really mess me up. So I had to learn to change my mindset. And it's caused me problems with people before. because they say I overanalyze things. What I had to learn to do was anticipate everything. I believe that I am the one that invented hope for the best but plan for the worst. I know I started using it, then I heard other people using it. But that was what I did. I would plan for every possible scenario. When they built this new building at the college, I went to use the handicap button. In high school, it wouldn't have been a problem. I could lift my arm up and hit stuff. But I got there, and the button was up at my head level. And I couldn't get my chair close enough to hit it with my head or anything like that. Luckily, I have a policy where I go and check things out the day before or sometime before, so I don't get any unpleasant surprises. Well, needless to say, that was a rather unpleasant surprise. I almost could say I got a little emotional because it's a handicap button. It should work, but it is up too high for a handicapped person to use, unless you're on crutches. I talked to the school, talked to the counselors, and got to the builders and whatnot, and they said, "Oh, well, it meets code." So that was that. So the counselors had somebody there to help me, and then I got somebody in my class to help me. Then I had to have help going up the elevator. So that's what it's like being a handicapped person. Is you can't be independent like you'd like to be. And I also discovered I was changing. It got to where, and it still is, to where I don't speak my mind. I feel like I can't risk offending people. I don't like hurting feelings anyway. But how can I offend you when I may be needing help? I hear often of people that are handicapped that are very rude. Well, to those people, I'd say that's pretty stupid of you. And yes, I know I'm blunt. I don't like having to have help, but I recognize that I need it. And if you're rude to people, nobody's going to like that. Although they usually will help. The other thing, accept things you never wanted to accept. I hate wearing this thing right now, but I'm the only one here today. It gets hard for me to breathe, I wear it. Before I started using this BiPAP, I told myself that no matter what, I will not use something to help me breathe. I had these visions of ventilators and things like that, so I put this off as long as I could. To the point that I'll talk about in a future video, I couldn't put it off any longer. But I didn't feel like I was done yet. So I've been using this for years now. You have to accept things you may have thought you would never accept. Oftentimes, I think people wonder how I could be positive. Here in a little bit, Sarah and I will be making a video of 10 things to help you be positive or feel positive when maybe you aren't. One thing about it, I definitely know how people feel about me. So that's maybe an ultimate positive. And I didn't really plan this video out. I'm just talking from the heart today. Because honestly, I've been kind of down in the dumps the last few weeks. My version of down in the dumps, mind you. For whatever reason, I'm very fortunate to be a pretty positive person. So my down and disappointed is different than most. There's times I've felt depressed and I've taken like, I've gone through and analyzed everything to see if I was depressed. And I wasn't, but I was for me. I would be lying if I said I was happy all the time and perfectly happy with my life. I'm not perfectly happy with my life. It's gone very differently than I thought. I have all the normal human feelings. I would love a romantic relationship, but I've recognized where there's some difficulty there. But it doesn't mean I give up. I'd love to have a job, and there's some difficulty with getting that. But I keep trying. I keep trying to increase my education and my abilities. And that's part of what this YouTube is. I'm trying to get to where I can make a living doing this and imparting my so-called wisdom. I think this video's gone on long enough. I'm kind of rushed to get videos out this week. And in fact, that's why you're seeing this video at the end of the week instead of at the beginning. Actually, to be honest, I don't know when I'm putting this out. Alright, that's enough for now. I'll talk to you guys later. Alright, thank you. Bye.